All I'm doing is I'm going to keep doing it until a number matches up with one of them up here. See how I got this 8 right there? And that 8 right there? That means I can use 8. My bottom numbers can be 8. But let's say you accidentally skipped it and you kept going. Well, I could say 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. See that 16? And then there's one up here. That means you could use a 16 too if you wanted to. It's not the smallest denominator that you can use, because 8 is, but let's say you accidentally skipped it and you found 16. That's fine. You're making it a little harder for yourself, but 8 is our smallest denominator, alright? So we got to change our fractions to a denominator of 8. This one's already 8, so that one's good. That's good to go. So I'm going to put it right back here. This is good to go, because what I'm going to do right here is rewrite this, but with different denominators now. So I'll put the 7/8 back, put the minus sign back. Alright, now, this number is going to change. I said I wanted this to become an 8. Alright, well when I do this, you need to think to yourself, when I made this an 8, is there anything I can multiply that number by to get to 8? If you think about it, you'll see that it's times 4. Alright? And whatever you do to the bottom, you're going to do to the top. And vice versa. Whatever I do to the top, I'm going to do to the bottom. And think about it when it comes to algebra. You know, if we haven't talked about algebra yet, then we'll be talking about it later. But in algebra, whatever you do to one side of an equation, you're going to do to the other side. Math is all about symmetry and being equal. Every side gets equal parts. No one gets more than the other. Everything's equal. So since this is multiplied by 4, I'm going to multiply this top number by 4. And so 1 times 4, and I get 4. Now, I think I'm ready to subtract. Remember, ask yourself, are my bottom numbers the same now? And yes, they are. They're both 8s. They're ready. They're good to go. So I just subtract normally. Just like when you're in first grade. 7 minus 4. Alright? That is 3. And remember, your bottom number stays the same. 3/8. Now, you could do it like I did it right here. I rewrote this right underneath here. Okay, but another easy way, if that seems kind of confusing, is you can do it right beside. So let's say I have 5/6 minus 1/3. Alright, remember to ask yourself, are my bottom numbers the same? No, they're not in this case, alright? So what we got to do is, we got to list the multiples of the biggest number and the smallest number, our denominators. So here's the 6, and here's the 3. So I'm going to say 6, 12, 18. I'm just going to do 3 numbers this time. Now I'm going to do the 3s. 3, 6, boom. There it is. I just found matching 6s. Just like a card game. I found matching 6s. That's what I want my bottom numbers to be. But remember, if you accidentally skipped it, you could keep going. 3, 6, 9, 12. See how that 12 matches that 12 over there? That means I could use the 12 too, but it's not the least common denominator. I always want the smallest one. It's easier for you. Less work. Alright, so this is already a 6. I'm going to keep that the same. So 5, 6. Put the minus back. Alright, now, like I did up here, I rewrote it right below it, but some people find it easier to write it to the side of it and then rewrite it down here. So this 1/3, I need that to become a 6. That bottom number needs to become a 6. So you ask yourself, is there anything 3 can multiply by to get to 6? Well, whenever we listed out the multiples, we found out that the second number was 6 for 3. So that means 3 times 1, 3 times 2. So 3 times 2 gave me 6. So remember, whatever I do to the bottom, I gotta do to the top. So multiply that top number. Alright, so you have to also multiply that top number by 2. So 1 times 2 gives me 2, and then I just rewrote it right down here. So say 5/6 minus 2/6. Ask yourself, are my bottom numbers the same? Yes, they are. They're good. And remember, it's this easy, just like you when you were in elementary. Now it's just 5 minus 2. I get 3, then put your bottom number back. Okay, then after you get your answer, remember to see if it needs to be simplified or not. All you got to do is ask yourself, is there any number that I can divide both of these numbers by? I can divide them by 3. So 3 divided by 3, that gives me 1. And 6 divided by 3, that gives me 2. And I get 1/2. Alright? Now, go ahead and hit that button real quick. Alright? Now, we're almost done here. We're going to do multiplication and division real quick. Alright? So I'm going to write this up here. We're going to be multiplying. Hope I'm not losing anybody. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, remember, don't feel bad to ask me a question. Everyone has questions. Even Einstein had questions. Alright, and you're going to make me feel better every time you ask me questions, so don't sit there and be quiet. Ask me some questions if you need to, alright? Okay, so multiplying fractions. This is easy, and you're going to love it. It's actually easier than adding and subtracting. Because when you multiply, your bottom numbers don't have to be the same. Who cares? It doesn't matter if the top numbers are the same, bottom numbers are the same. If they're same, different, doesn't matter. It's this easy. So let's start with 1/2 times 2 over 3. Alright? Well, we all know how to multiply, right? And with fractions, it's just like this. Think of it as 2 different problems just sitting on top of each other. So like, if this was number 1, and it would say 1 times 2 is what? And then number 2 would basically say 2 times 3 is what? Just think of it like 2 problems stacked on top of each other. And to multiply fractions, you go straight across the road. Alright, so yeah, we do the bottom number exactly the same. Go straight across the road. 2 times 3, we got 6. Alright, and then just like every fraction problem, you gotta ask yourself, is it fully simplified? Is there any number I can divide them both by? I can divide them both by 2. So 2 divided by 2, and I get 1, and 6 divided by 2, and I get 3. Alright, it's pretty easy. And that's it. That's it for multiplying. You just go straight across. Let's do another one real quick, just real fast. We got 3/4 times 1/2. Alright? Exactly the same. Remember, we go straight across the road. 3 times 1 is 3. And 4 times 2, that gives me 8. Is there any number I can divide them both by? No, I cannot. That's fully simplified. That's it. I'm done. Alright? Now last thing I want to show you is division. Now I want you to basically think of that there is no such thing as dividing fractions. Alright? What you have to think of whenever you see division of fractions, when you see division, alright, kind of pretend that that division thing right there that you see kind of looks like a piece of chicken. Because I want you to remember KCF. Kind of like KFC. You see that? Kind of like a drumstick with a chicken. If you have a really good imagination, pretend it's a chicken. And think of KFC, like the chicken, and like KCF. And what this means is, keep the first fraction, you change the sign, and you flip the second one. Alright, so let me show you. Keep the first one, alright? I'm going to keep it 1/2. C means change the sign to multiplication. And F means flip, alright? So what I mean by flip is you're just going to take the second fraction, alright, just like it sits. And all you're basically going to do is do a little flip-o, and just turn it upside down, man. That's all you got to do. So all I got to say is 7 over 2. Does everyone see how it flipped? Just like that? And that's all there is to it. Now, all we have to do is multiply, just like we were doing up here. And how do we multiply the fractions? Go straight across the road. 1 times 7, I get 7. And 2 times 2, I get 4. So now my answer is 7 over 4. Alright, so I got the 7 over 4. It's an improper fraction. I want to turn it into a mixed number. All I have to do is what this little thing tells me to do. That's a division bar. So divide it. 4 goes into 7 one time. And then you see how many's left over. 7 minus 4, that's 3. And the bottom number always stays the same. And I get 1 and 3 over 4ths. And that's pretty much it. So now the next thing that we would do is have y'all do some practice and then walk around and see how y'all are doing and help y'all from there.